and I'm sharing my screen. Okay. I hope you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes, I'm able to see your screen.
Yes, exactly. So yesterday I just I'll quickly give you the recap. I just have shown you how to log into the portal. So the URL to log into the portal is portal.azure.com. Okay, so try to remember this particular URL, and when you click on that, so you will be given asked with a username and password. So once you enter that, okay, you will be able to log into the portal. And we have just explored what kind of options we have. So this we call it as a Azure portal menu, and some of the options. Okay, what are all we have? In addition to that, okay, yesterday we just discussed about the Azure pricing calculator. Let's say, for example, if at all if you wanted to move to the cloud and you wanted to have certain estimation, okay, if I use certain services on Azure, okay, what will be the estimation? Let's say, for example, before you book any Zoom car, right? Okay, you will look for the estimation, right? So as soon as you provide certain details, okay, they will give you the certain estimation. Let's say, for example, if you book a car for 1 month, okay, so based on the car, let's say if you go with the i10, if you go with the i20, if you go with some SUVs, okay, the price will varies. Similarly here, so based on the regions, based on the resources what you're going to use, okay, you can get the estimation if at all if you want. Okay, so taking this particular configuration details and all other stuff. So this is what okay we just have seen on a high level. Okay, so today we'll see how to create a free trial subscription, and once you create a free trial subscription, and we'll also discuss about the some of the hierarchies, okay, which we have for the within Azure. Okay, so today I want each and every one of you to go ahead and create a free trial account, and I'll walk you through what are the things which you needed, okay, to create a free trial account. So let me open my notepad here. Okay, so as part of today's agenda, so I'm going to cover how to create Azure subscription. Okay, I would say free trial subscription. Okay, and then okay, we'll also look about the Azure hierarchy. Okay, so if you remember, okay, so we have discussed, okay, in our previous slides, okay, so different ways or methods, okay, to create a subscription. Okay, so as part of our training, okay, I'm going to show you how to create a free trial subscription, and these are all related to the enterprise level. This enterprise agreement is related to the enterprise level. That means okay, companies will go with the enterprise agreements, but this is, you can also go with the pay as you go model, but whereas you will be charged with the usage. So for a better usage, okay, we'll go with the free trial. When you go with the free trial, you will be given with a certain free credit points which will be valid for 1 month. Okay, so to create a free trial account, so let's go back here, and within the same page, okay, if I remove this azure.microsoft.com, so this is the home page. So in here, if you wanted to create any free trial account, here you could see a pop-up saying that free account or a try free Azure. Okay, so this is one way of method, okay, you can just navigate. If not, if you don't remember any URL, just open a Google and just simply say Azure free trial account. Okay, so here you will be given with respect to the URL. Once you click on it, okay, again you will be navigated to the same page. I want you to get your hands dirty, to search within a specific requirements, okay, which will really help you to make your job very easy. So here I'm in the both the same pages. Okay, let's continue from here. So when you create a free trial account, okay, so here you could see, so there are some of the services. Yesterday we have discussed some of the service, all the list of services, right? Among those, some of the services are completely free for 12 months. And yes, okay, so there are like an almost 25 plus services which are free. In addition to that, you will be given with a certain credit points. Okay, here it is, they are showing in a USD dollars, but in Indian currency it will be coming around 14,000, I guess. So 14,000 credit points, okay, will be given credited to your free trial account, and they are like a valid for 30 days. Whatever the services that you're going to create within the Azure portal, they will be having certain value, and those charges, okay, will be deducted from this particular free credit points. Okay, and if you see what are all the 25 plus services which are always free, for next 12 months, if you come down, okay, here you could see those list of services. Okay, so this is a Linux virtual machine, and you have to create with this particular specific size. Okay, which might be having one virtual CPU and 1 GB RAM, so which is completely free for the 12 months. Same with the Windows and some of the database and some of the storage accounts. Okay, so you can just explore this particular page I'm going to share. And for today, let's go ahead and explore how to create a free tail account. So to create this, okay, I'm going to open in a new incognito window, that is private window, because okay, if I open it here, so since I already logged in here, it will take my same credentials. So to avoid that, okay, I'll open a private window, and here I will just simply say azure.microsoft.com, and here I will click on the free account, and here we go, start free. And when you click on the start free, okay, it will be navigated to the sign up page. Okay, so wherein initially, you will be asked with a certain email ID and password. So let's say if you do not have any email ID, and make sure that if you already had any account earlier with a similar email ID, don't give the same email ID. So you have to give the new email ID. If at all, if you do not have it, go ahead and create a new one. Here you could see no account. Go ahead and create a new one. I'll say create a one, and here you can create a new email ID. Let's say for example, I'll say AZ September 2021 @ outlook.com. Okay, so here I'm just giving some name, and outlook.com. You can give your personal name also if it is available. Okay, so here you could say either you can take outlook.com or hotmail.com. These are like a two Microsoft domains, and you can say click on next. And in the next page, okay, it will be asked for the password. So let me provide some password here. Okay, so I have given certain random password, and I say click on next. Here I'm creating the password. So once I'm done with the providing this particular, creating the email ID, okay, so it will navigate me directly to the sign up page. Okay, so here it is asking for a certain puzzle. Let's click on next. So let me make it proper. I just say click on done, and it is done with the validation. And once it is done, here you could see I was straight away routed back to the sign up page. So this is a sign up page, and here you could see create your Azure free account. And when you create a Azure free trial account, you will be given with some of the popular service we just seen, right? Some of the 25 plus services which are completely for free for 12 months. And these are the some of the services with the specific sizes you need to use, and you will be given with a 13,300 credit to use in your first 30 days. So this credit points will expire in 30 days. And to create your free trial account, you require a credit card. Okay, and from your credit card, only 2 rupees will be deducted. Don't worry. Okay, some of the folks might be having some fear that if I give my credit card after 30 days, okay, Microsoft might charge you additionally. No, here you could see no automatic charges. Microsoft will not charge any single rupee also from your credit card after expiring your subscription. Okay, when you use your credit card, only 2 rupees will be deducted from your credit card, and they are credited back within 24 hours. Okay, you can just create a free trial account free of cost, but you just need a credit card details. So here you could see after your credit is over, that means okay, this 13,300 credit points for 30 days, we will ask you if you wanted to continue with the pay as you go model. Okay, so pay as you go model is, so after expiring this particular account, so whatever the services you are using and how much they cost, okay, you have to pay to the Microsoft at the end of the month. So if you do not wanted it, okay, you can just leave it. It will be disabled by default. Okay, and yes, okay, so to create a free trial account, here you could see some of the details. You could see, since we're from India, so by default it has taken the region as in India, and you can provide your first name. Let's say here I'll provide my first name as Ramakrishna, and middle name is an optional, and I will say last name as an Azure. Okay, and this is an email ID, and I need to pass certain mobile number. Let's say I'll pass my mobile number here, that is 9513184144. Okay, and make sure whenever you're creating a new free trial account, you should not use the same password, I mean same email ID, same mobile number, same credit card if you have already used earlier. Okay, so today here I'm using this particular email ID and this email mobile number, right? After 30 days, if this particular account get expired, if at all if you wanted to create a new free trial account, you should not use the same email ID, same mobile number and same credit card. You have to use everything new. Okay, if you use the same, again it will ask you go with the pay as you go model. Okay, so that's the reason. Make sure that before you create any free trial account, so if you have already used this particular phone number, email ID and whatever the credit card you're going to pass it here now, should not use the same. Okay, so you can use your friend's mobile number, family's mobile number, anyone mobile number you can use. So here after providing my basic details, okay, so it is asking you for the OTP. Okay, so here you could see text me or call me. I'll keep a text. Okay, so here, okay, it will ask you for the OTP. So let me check my mobile number. Yeah, here I have the OTP. So it's 7897 and 41, and you can just simply say verify. I'm done with the verifying my mobile number, and I need to specify certain organization name. Let's say I'll use some organization name called Wipro. Okay, and PAN card is an optional, and I need to agree these particular terms. If at all if you wanted to view them, you can go ahead and view this particular terms and conditions. Okay, so Microsoft Online subscription agreement. So you're accepting these particular agreements. If at all if you wanted to read each and every line, you can go ahead and read it. Okay, same thing here. The privacy statement. Okay, so once I'm done with passing my profile details, certain basic details. Okay, after validating my mobile number, so after accepting these particular details, I should click on next. So when I click on next, it will ask me for the identity verification by card. That means, okay, here it will ask you for the credit card details. So you need to provide your credit card details, and only 2 rupees will be deducted by the way, and there will be no automatic charges going forward. I'll say click on next. Okay, so it will validate all the information which you have provided, and then okay, it will route you for this particular identity verification by card page. So let's wait for it. Yeah, here we go. So I'm done with your profile details. So now it's time for verifying your details. Okay, you will make a temporary authorization on this card, but you won't be charged unless you upgrade. Okay, so whenever you're performing certain activities, right, I would recommend you to go through each and every line. Okay, don't blindly give the details and uh, save it. Okay, please provide a credit card or a debit card. Prepaid cards are not accepted. Okay, so some of the cards, okay, some I had very recent, some of the debit cards might be accepted. Okay, so but mostly credit cards will be accepted, but very recent I heard that so some of the credit cards, debit cards also working. Maybe you can try from your side. And here we can see the note also, we do not accept debit or prepaid cards because they do not support the monthly payment in your location. Please use the credit card. But though some of the cards are working, I heard very recent, but you can try from your side also. And you can provide your card name, let's say for example name and a card number. Okay, and you can specify your expiry date of your card. Okay, and you can also specify the certain CVV, and you can give some a random address. Let's say okay, I say only Hyderabad, right? And these are all optional. You can specify the city, you can specify the state and pin code, and you can just sign up. So when you click on sign up, okay, so these particular details will be validated. You will be asked with a OTP for the payment of only 2 rupees, whatever the credit card that you have provided. And once you click on the sign up, you will be created with a free trial account and you will be routed back to the portal like this. Okay, so this is how you need to know create a free trial account. So I'll quickly recap what we discussed, okay, for creating the free trial account. So first what I have done is, okay, I'll just simply say here, just type, okay, Azure free trial account in a Google. Just to go to this particular, document here, and you will be going to this particular specific page. Here you can just say click on free. And since I have this particular email ID already created, it is directly routed me back here. But if not, okay, it will ask you to create an email ID, or you can give the existing Microsoft account. That means, okay, if you have any Outlook email, or maybe like a Hotmail email, you can provide that. If not, okay, you can create a new one with your name or what any name. And once you're done with it, you will be routed back to this particular sign up page. So whereas, okay, you will be asked for the certain profile details and agreement and the identification, and you can just say sign up. Very easy, right? So once you have the portal, okay, you need to know how to use the portal, right? Okay, so here what we have done, we just created a subscription. Okay, if at all if you wanted to see how it looks like, so you can just click on the subscription here. So here you could see the option called subscription. Go to here. Yeah, so here, so when you create a free trial account, the name of the subscription will be coming as free trial. Okay, by default, okay, the name will be coming as a subscription name coming as a free trial account, and every subscription will be having certain subscription ID. Okay, this is like a unique ID, okay, to differentiate the subscription. And these are the roles that we have. We'll discuss these roles, okay, later. And you could see the current cost, okay, on the subscription, how much it was costing, and what are the remaining credit points. All right. So, and the status of the subscription, at this moment, the subscription is in a active state, right? So when you click on this particular subscription, okay, so when you search it here and when you click on a subscription, it will route to the subscription page. So when you uncheck this box, maybe in the enterprises, you might be having an access to the multiple subscriptions. If at all, if you wanted to go to any one of the subscription, you have to click on it here. Okay, so here you are under the subscription page. So whenever you go to any one of the page, right? Let's say here, okay, I'm under the subscription page, and we call it as a subscription blade. As a terminology, we call it as a subscription blade. Okay, and these are all the options we have. So we'll discuss about those options in detail. Okay, so on an overview page, okay, it will give you the complete details. Here you could see the subscription ID. Every subscription will be having certain unique ID, and you could see the subscription name. If at all, if you wanted to rename your subscription, you can do that also by using this particular specific feature. But when you create your retail account, by default, the name will be like, something like, free trial. Later, you can go ahead and say rename it. And here, okay, so let's say from this, okay, I'll just name it as Azure September 2021. Okay, I say save. And when you perform certain activities, right? Okay, so whatever the notification that you're getting, okay, I want you to read it first. Okay, so here if you see, okay, so this particular notification, the subscription with ID has been updated, but it may take some time for the portal to reflect the change. Please try refreshing the page in 10 minutes. That means whatever the changes I made to reflect these changes, it will take minimum 10 minutes. Okay, so we have to do a refresh here on the top so that you'll be able to see those changes. So let's wait for the 10 minutes. So then we'll be able to see that. Okay, so I guess debit cards might not accepted, Srujan, probably. Okay, so go with the credit card if at all if you have it. Okay, maybe if you wanted to give a try, you can give it. Nobody is stopping you, but yes, okay, I guess it might not work. Just have a try. If it is not working, go with the credit card. So here you could see, subscription name and subscription ID, and this is the directory what we discussed. And here you could see the billing period. So this subscription was created on the September 9th, and it is valid up to uh, October 8th. Okay, so whatever the subscription, free trial subscription that you create is valid for only 1 month. And here you could see my role. So we'll discuss about the roles later. and here you could see the currency, it is INR. If you create this particular subscription in somewhere in a different regions like US or Europe, you will be given with respect to currencies. Okay, here you might be showing like USD or maybe euros and whatsoever. And here you could see the offer type, retail. Okay, since we have created a retail account, and the status of the account subscription here at this moment, you could see it is an active. But once it is after October 8th, the status of this particular subscription will be coming as a disabled. It is not active. Okay, and every subscription will be given with certain offer ID. So, and here you could see the some other details, and you can see the spendings of your resources also. Okay, these are all okay. Maybe we'll discuss it later. Don't get confused here now. So these are the some of the basic options. Okay, so we can just explore once you create a subscription, and the remaining options, okay, we'll discuss later. But for now, we just have seen how to create a free trial subscription. So I want you to go ahead and create a free trial subscription today, and we'll see the rest of the options from tomorrow. So in addition to that, let's say within enterprise, within an organization, like within the companies, okay, if they wanted to use the Microsoft Azure, okay, they go with the enterprise agreements. Okay, so when you go with an enterprise agreements, what will happen is you are committing to the Microsoft, saying that I'm going to use certain services for next couple of years, and you will be given with certain discounts also. Okay, we'll quickly walk you through the kind of hierarchy, how this particular enterprise agreements looks like. So if I look into this particular hierarchy, okay, when I go with the enterprise accounts, okay, so you will be having a one enterprise account for your organization. You can have multiple also, and that single enterprise account can be utilized by the multiple departments. Okay, let me try to copy this image. I'll try to put it somewhere here in the browser. Else I'll say Azure hierarchy. Okay, so let me try to take this particular namings. Okay, I'll copy this image. I'll put it here. Yeah, so here if you see, okay, so we'll be having this enterprise account, okay, can be used by the multiple divisions within your organization. Let's say for example, if you have a different business units or a different divisions, okay, within your organization, each division can have their own enterprise account. Okay, so let's say just to make sure, okay, you understand, let's say I have a company, okay, and within a company, okay, I have a department called IT, and I have a department called R&D. That means, okay, you might be you might be having a product based company. Okay, so you might IT and R&D are like both are different. Let's imagine. So for R&D, you can have one enterprise enrollment, and for the IT you can have one enterprise enrollment. Okay, they are like two different divisions. And let's say within IT, let's say for example here you could see, consider this. So you might be having a different departments back again. So they are like a divisions, and within that, okay, you might be having a different departments. This particular enterprise account can be utilized by the multiple departments. Let's say we can have an IT, we can have some accounting, we can have some HR, we can have some finance. Okay, so those departments can use the same enterprise account. And as an enterprise admin, okay, you will be having hardly one or two people, because whatever the subscriptions that you are going to create, let's say in enterprises within the companies, you might be creating some hundreds of subscriptions, right? Okay, to manage those hundreds of subscriptions, to create those hundreds of subscriptions, you will be having one enterprise admin. It will be given with a high level people only, because they will be having the control on this particular enterprise account. And within the departments, you will be having certain account owners, and these account owners will be having a privileges to create the subscriptions. So this is the place, okay, where it comes, okay, creation of the subscription. Okay, so here you could see you can create a multiple subscription. Let's say if I have if I have a project, for each project you can create the 3 subscriptions. Okay, one subscription for the dev environment, one subscription for the QA, and one subscription for the production environment. Okay, so likewise, okay, for each project you can have a multiple subscriptions, and these subscriptions will be created by this account owners or enterprise admins. So this is the kind of hierarchy, okay, we'll be having within your enterprises. And let's say, for example, under this enrollment account, if I have some 400 subscriptions, all these 400 subscription billing will, I can get it under this particular enterprise enrollment account. The URL for this particular enterprise account will be like, ea.azure.com. You might be not having an access here, but yes. Okay, so if I choose it, okay, I will not get it here. I will get it as an invalid user, because okay, to use this particular EA portal, so you should be having a separate user account. It should be given provided by the Microsoft. So coming back here, so this is how within your organization, how the enterprises go with the subscription with the enterprise account. In addition to that, if you talk about some of the additional hierarchies, okay, so let me quickly walk you through the some of the hierarchies here. What we have, this is for the, this is the hierarchy for the enterprise enrollment, okay, on an organization level. But when it comes to the structure and hierarchy, what we generally use within Azure, okay, so I'll quickly walk you through here. Yeah, probably let me choose this one only. Yeah, let's go with this. I'll try to copy these. Let me put it here. Okay, so if you look into this particular hierarchy, okay, so once you create any enterprise agreement, right, okay, you will be having an Active Directory tenant. Probably let's go with that so that you can understand more better. I'm just checking for the proper hierarchy image. Yeah, so this is what I was looking for. I'll just simply copy this image and I'll put it here. Okay, so within your organization, okay, you might be having certain Active Directory. So within this Active Directory, your user account will be created, right? So when you join any company, you will be given with a certain username, a certain email ID, password, right? Okay, to log into your laptop or to use any one of the internal applications. So those user accounts will be created under the Active Directory. So under this Active Directory, okay, we'll be having a root account. Okay, you will be having kind of a global administrator who are managing this particular entire Active Directory. And then whenever you wanted to use this particular subscription, okay, we will be having this particular management groups. You will be having a one single root management group, and under this root management group, we can have a multiple management groups. And under the management group, we will be having a subscription. Okay, so here you could see this is what we have created just now. The subscription we have created as a free trial, but when you go to the enterprise level, okay, so this is the general hierarchy we follow. First, we'll be having a management group. Under a management group, okay, we'll be having a subscription. Under a subscription, we'll be having a resource group, and within a resource group, okay, we'll be creating the resources. Resources is nothing but like whatever the virtual machines, virtual network, or maybe storage, or a databases, whatever you see, okay, we will be creating as part of this resources page. I'll quickly walk you through the hierarchy once again. We'll be having a management group. Management group is nothing but, so for your subscription, according to your company policies, if you wanted to assign certain permissions and certain policies, we can assign it on this particular management group level. Let's say, for example, uh, I have a department called IT. So within IT, so if I wanted to use my subscription, I can put certain restrictions, certain rules on this particular management group. And if I add any user on this particular management group level, and under this particular management group, whatever the subscriptions we have, they will be getting a default access to those subscriptions. Okay, so this management groups also will be managed by the high level management team. Maybe you might not be getting an option, but just try to focus on the subscription level. So within the subscription level, you will be having a subscription, resource group, and resources. So we have seen what is the subscription. Subscription will give you an access to access the Azure portal and to create certain resources, right? And coming back to the resource group is kind of logical unit. Let's say, for example, when you're trying to create certain group of resources, we can just keep them into this particular single resource group. Let's say for example, if I'm creating VMs, let's say Windows virtual machine, I can create a one resource group for the Windows virtual machines. And let's say if I'm creating a Linux virtual machines, I can create one resource group for the Linux virtual machine. Same as if you're creating a certain databases, I can create one resource group for the databases, and I can create those resources under that particular resource group. Okay, and here are the resources. So this is the hierarchy that we have. So within Azure, so we have to remember this hierarchy, which is very important. I will also share you, okay, with respect to documentation also, just to go through it. So this is what I have, I just shown you here. So you'll be having a subscription, resource group, and resources. So coming back to the portal now, so we just seen how to create a subscription and how to create the, and what are the kind of hierarchies that we have. So today, okay, so let me quickly show you some of the additional topic called RBAC, that is role-based access control. That means once you have a subscription, okay, you need to give a permission to the other users, right? Let's say for example, just now I have created a subscription called let's say Azure September. Okay, let's keep it like this, 2021, right? I have given the name of the subscription like this. Okay, and let us imagine this is your project subscription. Just imagine. Okay, and in your team there are 20 people, and you need to give the access to those 20 people for this particular subscription. Let us imagine. So you got the subscription for your project, and you are a, let's say you are the senior or an admin, okay, whatsoever. You need to grant a permission to your team with a respect to role. Okay, so what type of roles we have, and what are those roles advantages, and how to give an access, we'll see that now. I'll come back here. I'm under the same subscription page. Can you see my subscription is renamed to whatever the name I have provided. So if you wanted to come from the beginning back again, here on the search box, you can just simply type subscription and click on the subscription, and here you will be able to see the list of subscriptions. At this moment, I'm having only one subscription, that is Azure September. I need to click on this. When you click on this, you will be navigated to the subscription page. I am just minimizing this option. Let's say minimize. So here, let's see how I can grant a permission to the new users. If at all, if I wanted to grant a permission to the new user, what is the permissions, okay, I need to have. Okay, so let's say this is the overview page. We just have seen what are the options we have on a overview page. And then when I go to the activity log, okay, so here, okay, each and every activity what I'm performing on my subscription will be captured. Okay, so let's say for example, just now 15 minutes before, I have renamed my subscription, and that activity will be captured here. And let's say within your subscription, if somebody created certain resources and somebody deleted certain resources, every activity will be captured here. Okay, let's say for example, you have you're using certain resources, and all of a sudden that particular resource is uh, not working, or somebody has made some change. You can come back to into this particular activity log page, and you can just view who has done what activity. If you see here, this renaming, okay, has done. You could see it is started and succeeded, and it was done so and so time. Okay, if I expand more, here you could see at what time it has done. Here you could see 6:21 and this so and so date, and it will also give you the time zone, that is Indian Standard Time, that is IST time zone. And you can see who is the caller, that is who has done this activity. Here you could see this is the user who has done this particular activity. Okay, that is ajuramkrishna@gmail.com. All right, so now if here I'm able to see only the activity logs, okay, from last 6 hours. Let's say if at all, if I wanted to see from last 1 month, okay, I can choose it and I can just apply, and I will be able to see the, it is last 1 hour, I'm sorry, let's go with the last month. Click on apply. So it will load it, and it will give you the all the activities which are performed from last 1 month. And if you wanted to download those, complete activities, you can just simply say download as a CSV, and those entire, activities will be downloaded. Okay, so which is still loading. Since I have selected last 1 month, it will be capturing all the logs. And as a maximum, okay, we can see up to 90 days of logs here. And beyond that, if you wanted to see that, we need to capture those logs into the Logolytic workspace. So how to capture those logs into the Logolytic workspace? Okay, what is Logolytic workspace? We'll be seeing later. But for now, here you could see how to look into the logs. What type of activities which are performed under this particular subscription. And here you could see the time span. Here I have chosen as the last 1 month, and here you could see the complete logs which are performed from last 1 month. Okay, so under, if I come down, okay, here I could see the option called load more. Okay, if keep on go down, okay, it will be able to show you. And coming back to the IAM, that is access control, so that we call it as a RBAC, which is role based access control. Okay, so very important. So if at all, if you wanted to grant a permission to the new users, we use this particular RBAC, that is role based access control. So here, when I click on this particular access control, that is IAM, here I could see I can check what role I have on this particular subscription by specifying my email ID here. Let's say, for example, if I type my email ID, let's say Azure Ramakrishna @gmail.com, and view my access. Okay, here I could choose this account, and here it will give me what type of role I have. Okay, here I'm having owner role. What is this owner role? We'll see now. Okay, this is just to check the access. If you go to this particular role assignment second tab, here you could see overall having what access. Okay, so there are two users who are having a owner access, and you could see the role and the type of the user and all these things. And we'll see what are the roles we have. So here you could see a number of role assignment for the subscription is maximum limit is 2000. That means you can give a access to the 2000 users on this particular subscription. And let's see what are the roles we have here. So if you look into this, okay, we have a general roles. Okay, we have a different categories here as a category. So these are all the general roles, okay, which we majorly provide. That is owner, contributor, and reader. So we'll discuss about the some of the differences of this particular roles. Being as a owner role, what you can do, and being as a contributor, what you can do, what you cannot do. Okay, let's see this now here. Let's say first I will go with the owner. So being as a owner, here you could see the description grants a full access to manage all resources. That means within this particular subscription, according to your hierarchy, when you give a owner access on this particular subscription level, you can create the resource groups, we can create the resources also, and we can delete the resources, we can modify the resources, and we can do anything. And similarly, including the ability to assign the roles in a Azure RBAC. That means if you have a owner access, you can give an access to the other user also. Let's say today I'm having owner access on this particular subscription, and if at all, if I wanted to give an access to all of you, okay, so here in this particular bridge, okay, currently I'm having 9 members. If at all, if I wanted to give access to these 9 members, I can give that. Okay, so to give the access, I need to click on add button here, and I need to add a role assignment. When I click on add a role assignment, okay, here you could see add role assignment separate window. Here I can choose a role what I wanted. So we are just discussing about the owner, contributor, reader. I can choose any one of them. Let's say if at all, if I wanted to give the owner, I can choose it, and I'm assigning to a user. Let's go with the default, and here I can specify the email ID of that user. Let's say, for example, abcd@gmail.com. If somebody having a email with this particular abcd@gmail.com, okay, here I'm choosing it, and here I need to save it. Let's put it here. Yeah, I can just simply save it, and that particular user will be getting a invitation. So that is how I will be adding the users into my subscription. So if at all, if you wanted to grant a permission to the new users, you should be having a owner access. If you do not have a owner access, you will be not allow, no, you will be not getting the privileges. And coming back to the contributor, being as a contributor also, you can do all the activities, but you will be not allowed to give an access to any new user. Here you could see the description: grant a full access to manage all the resources, but does not allow you to assign the roles in Azure RBAC. So if you wanted to give an access to the new users on the subscription, you must and should have a owner access. So being as a contributor, you cannot do. So being any other roles also you cannot do. You should be having a owner access. And coming back to the reader, being as a reader, you will be just having only read access. That means, okay, you will be able to view the only resources. Okay, you cannot create the resources. We cannot delete the resources also. Okay, we'll see this now. Okay, we'll how this roles looks like. Okay, I'll add a role to one of the email ID which I just created. I'll say the owner role. I'll say owner. And here, okay, I'll give my email ID what I have created just now. That is AG September 2021, I think. Yeah, at the rate of outlook.com. Okay, I'll choose that account and let's say save it. So I have invited this particular user account called AG September 2021 at outlook.com. Let me go back to that particular window. Okay, I'll go to the private window where I have this account. Let me open my Outlook here. Okay. So here, if you see, I am having an email saying that, this particular user has invited you to access an application within our organization. Okay, whenever somebody gives you an access on a free trial account, especially on a free trial account, so you will be getting an email like this. Okay, here you will be having the complete, details. This is the sender who is, giving you access, that is azurramakrishna@gmail.com on the specific directory. Okay, you need to accept this invitation. I say accept this invitation. So when you click on this accept invitation, it will ask you to, accept the certain agreement. Here you could see it is asking you for the permission, and I say accept. And here you could see, once I accept that invite, I will be routed back to the Azure portal. Here you could see I'm navigated to this particular Azure portal, portal.azure.com. So they're asking you to, so when you get this particular tour, right? So when you click on start tour, okay, they will, give you certain details. Okay, if you wanted to create the resource, okay, this is the option. And if you go to the next, okay, this is the home page. When you go to the next, okay, this is the dashboard, and this is the all services which we discussed, right? And these are the some of the favorite services. And this is the global search if you wanted a quick search. And when you go to the next, okay, this is the directory and subscription, notification, help, and account information, and finish. Okay, they will walk you through the complete starting guide. So here I just got an access to another one subscription, and here you could see I log in with this account. And if I wanted to see my access, I will be going to the subscription. If you don't find the subscription option here, just type subscription here, click on the subscription, and you are having an access to the subscription called Azure September 2021, and you are having a owner role. Let me click on the subscription, and if you wanted to see overall having what access, you can go back to this access control, that is IAM, and within here you can just click on the role assignment. So within this role assignment, you will be able to see overall having what access. Okay, here you could see now, okay, the complete list. I just invited one user called abcd@gmail.com. If you have somebody has this email ID, they will get the invitation. And I have just granted a permission for this particular newly created user. And if I wanted to remove certain users, I can choose it. Okay, I can say remove here on the top. And I told you, right, being as a owner, I will be allowed to grant a permission to the new users. Let's see that. I'll click on add, and here I'm able to add a new role assignment. Okay, so let's say I'll show you the difference being as a contributor. I will go back to my previous account where I log in as a Azure Ramakrishna, and here within the role assignment, let me do refresh. Yeah, so within the role assignments for this user account, what I have created just now, I will make him as a contributor, not as a owner. Okay, let's select that account. Let me remove that. There is no mechanism to convert from owner to contributor. You have to remove him and you have to add them back as a contributor. If you have the both the roles, whatever the highest privileges he has, that will be taken into the consideration. If I add it here, add role assignment, let's say for example here I will be taking the role as a contributor. Okay, this time I'm not giving a owner access, I'm just giving a contributor access. Okay, let me choose that account, that is AG September 2021 at outlook.com. Okay, you can choose it and you can say save in the top bottom. Can you please be on mute, Sarath? Thanks. So I have added this user as a contributor this time. Okay, so if I go here, so if I come down, let me do refresh here. Sometimes, okay, you have to do a refresh here to reflect the changes. Okay, so if I go back to this role assignment back again, and here I could see contributor. I have given a contributor access to this particular newly created email ID. I'll go here to that newly created account where I log in, and let me do refresh here, and let me do a refresh from the top. And when I go to the role assignments here, and here I could see I'm having a contributor access. What I told, being as a contributor, you are not allowed to grant a permission to the new users, right? As I click on add, and can you see, for adding an access to the new users, by default it is disabled for me to this particular user account called AG September 2021, because this user is having a contributor access. You being as a contributor, you are not allowed to grant a permission to the new users. So if you wanted to grant a permission to the new users, you should be having a owner access. Okay, so that is a difference. And let's say being as a contributor, I mentioned, like, we can create the resources, right? That means, okay, resource groups and resources we can create. Okay, let's say I wanted to create a resource group. Okay, so this is the hierarchy we have seen, right? So under a subscription, I wanted to create a certain basic resource group. Now let's see, being as a contributor, so this particular user account is having a contributor role. Let's see whether this guy can create it or not. To create the resource group, I can go with the multiple ways. I can say create a resource, and here I can just type a resource group. Okay, here you could see the name, and by default it will be routed back to this particular location of this resource group, and I can just select create, and here I can give some name. Let's say I'll set test resource group, and I'm choosing the location as a USTS, and I'll say review and create, and it is done with a validation, and I say create. So now if you see, me being as a contributor, I was able to create the resource group, and once this particular resource group is created, you will be given with a notification a resource group is created. When you click on go to resource group, you will be routed back to this particular resource group. So now let's see, this time we'll look into the reader permissions. What will happen? I'll come back here. I will remove this user from the contributor also. I will just give him as a reader permission. Let's see, being as a reader, what else he can do. Okay, I have removed him. Let me add him as a reader itself, not even contributor and owner. So this is the reader, and I say age is September 2021 at outlook.com. and I say save it. So this time I have given a reader access. So being as a reader, he will be not allowed to grant a permission to the new users, and he will also not allow to create any resource group or any resources also. He will be having a only view access. Let's see that now. I'm coming back to this login, that is 8th September. Let me do refresh here to reflect the changes. And here now I'll go back to the subscription. So here I could see as a recent resources, since I'm using the subscription here I could see, I'll just click on subscription. Straight away I will be routed back to the subscription. And here you could see my role is a reader this time. And if I go to the IAM,
ఏం చేసావు భావి స్పీకర్ ఏమో చేసి తగలెట్టావు ఎందుకు భావి నీకేమైనా పని ఉంది అది
so when I go to the role assignments, okay, here I could see my role as a reader. So you being as a reader, okay, so you'll be not allowed to do anything. Okay. So let's say, for example, if I try to grant a permission to the new users, okay, by default it will be coming as a disabled. And let's say same as like, you know, let's go ahead and create one sample resource group now. I can go to the resource groups. I can just type from here also. I can say resource group, and these are all the resource groups I have in my subscription. I can create a new one also by clicking on this particular create option. And let's say here I'll try to give one more name. I'll just simply say test. As soon as I give a resource group name, it is giving me some warning saying that you do not have a permission to create the resource group under the subscription called Azure September 2021. That means you being as a reader, you will be having a only view access. You will not allow to do any other activities. You can't even delete the resources also or resource group also. Let's say, for example, just now I have created one resource group, right? Let me try to delete that. So this is the resource group which I have created just now, that is test resource group. Let me try to delete this. I'm not allowed to create, right? Just now I have seen. Let me see whether I'm allowed to delete or not. I'll say delete the resource group here. And when you try to delete the resource group, it will ask you the name of the resource group. That is the reason I just copied this name and I say paste it and delete. And ideally, I should be getting a warning here, okay, saying that, you know, I am not authorized to delete this particular resource group. Okay, so let's wait for this particular notification here. So which is still in progress, but ideally it should not be deleted, because you being as a reader, you are not allowed to create the resources and delete the resources, even resource group also. Under the subscription, you will be not allowed to do anything. Okay, so definitely it will throw you the error. So we'll wait for it. So meantime, okay, I'll come back here. So these are the, you know, some of the RBAC roles. Okay, so general RBAC roles, okay, which we have, that is owner, contributor, and reader. Okay, so apart from this, okay, we have a many more also. We'll discuss them, okay, maybe from tomorrow. Okay, so when I go to the roles option here, so we have some of the additional roles. Okay, so based on your resources, we can, you know, have the different roles also. We'll start discussing about them from tomorrow. Okay, so I'll quickly repeat what is the owner. So you being as a owner, okay, you will be allowed to grant a permission to the new user, and you'll be allowed to manage all resources. But when it comes to the contributor, you are not allowed to grant the permission to the new user, and allowed to, you know, manage all resources. But being as a reader, okay, will be having only view access. So this is the, you know, three different differentiation between owner, contributor, and reader. So I will be sharing you the respective documentations also. Just go through it, and the remaining things, okay, we'll discuss tomorrow. So just to simply quickly recap. So today we have discussed how to create a free trial subscription, and I want you to create a free trial subscription today. If you do not have a credit card, try to ask some of your friends and tell them that, I wanted your credit card for creating a free trial subscription, and it will charge you only ₹2 and it will not charge you anything extra. Okay, so try to check with your friends and family if you do not have a credit card. And we'll also we have discussed some of the hierarchy, and we have just discussed about the RBAC, that is a role-based access control. As part of this, we just discussed some of the general roles, that is owner, contributor, and reader. And the rest of the topics we'll start discussing from tomorrow. And just to validate, okay, so here, okay, it should be getting a warning. I'm not sure why it is still showing here, but yeah, so ideally it has to fail. Okay, sometimes, okay, to get the response here, okay, due to your browser or internet, it might take some time, but it will fail because you will be not having a required privileges, okay, to delete this resource book. Okay, so with that, okay, I'll be stopping my session here, and let me stop my recording.